5 fouls. Sabali.
A'ja Wilson and her so-called special whistle. A'ja Wilson just nailed a walk-off that sent the crowd into pure chaos, but not for the reason everyone thinks. Fans are flooding timelines saying she didn't just win. She got handed the win. 12 free throws, 0 fouls. Sounds wild, right? Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark can't catch a break. She's getting thrown around like it's WWE out there and still barely gets a whistle. Something's feeling real shady in Vegas right now. Is A'ja really that good or just that protected? Let's start with the shot, because yeah, it was cold. Wilson pulled up smooth, hit the dagger, and the arena exploded. Highlight shows couldn't stop replaying it, and for a second it felt like a movie. But under all that hype, people started noticing something different. Those refs weren't just watching her, they were guarding her like Secret Service agents. It's like she had an invisible "do not touch" sign glowing above her head. Social media lit up instantly, calling it the A'ja whistle, and honestly, they might not be wrong. Because this isn't just about one blown call or one lucky night, it's been a trend. Fever fans have been shouting about this since last season, saying the refs treat her like royalty every time she steps on the floor. And this latest mess, it all kicked off in Phoenix. The Aces were in another nail-biter, and even though the final score's been forgotten, everyone remembers Wilson walking away with 12 free throws, while Satou Sabally was getting hacked like a tree and barely got a whistle. To make it worse, Sabally even got hurt. Look, nobody's denying A'ja's talent. She's elite, no question. But when every tight game ends with her chilling at the line while the other team's stars are benched with 5 fouls, people start talking. 38 by Angel McCautry. Yeah, you heard that right. And it's not just casuals talking anymore. Even the new fans who jumped into the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark are looking around like, hold up, why does A'ja always get that soft whistle?
Have to talk about is the amount of free throws A'ja Wilson is getting off. Not only just the amount of free throws she's getting off, the free throws and the calls that is pretty much garnering her the type of performances like this. She never gets in foul trouble. She gets all her calls.
Because here's the truth. A'ja Wilson doesn't just get calls, she gets protection. She's practically untouchable out there. You almost never see her in foul trouble. Her calls barely ever get overturned. And somehow, she's allowed to go full throttle on defense while everyone else gets whistled just for existing near her. That's not pure skill anymore, that's straight up privilege. Fans on X, yeah, formerly Twitter, have been dropping receipts. Clips all over the place showing moving screens, no calls, and those phantom fouls that always seem to land on her opponents. And the cherry on top? A'ja getting continuation on contact that barely even exists. People are calling it wild because it is. Let's talk specifics. First one, Wilson sets a blatant moving screen. Everyone sees it. Even the announcers are like, that's a foul. But guess what? Refs blow the whistle. On the defender instead. Unreal. Then another play. Defender boxes out, Wilson crashes right into her, and the refs call it a jump ball. Seriously? Now flip it. Same play but with Caitlin Clark or Aliyah Boston. One little bump, one breath too close, and boom, automatic foul. You can't script this madness. Fans are even calling it Deflategate 2.0, comparing it to Tom Brady's old scandal. That's how far this has gone. And it's not just bitter Fever fans either. Even neutral watchers and some Aces supporters are starting to admit it. Something's not adding up here. Here's what really blew the roof off this whole thing. Right after that game winner, the official WNBA account posted a full highlight reel praising A'ja Wilson's unreal clutch performance, and the comment section. Pure chaos, thousands of replies poured in. Half the fans were like, great shot, while the other half fired back. Of course she made it, the refs carried her all night. When your highlight post looks more like a courtroom than a celebration, yeah, you've got a serious problem. Now let's dig into the numbers, because numbers don't lie. A'ja Wilson leads the entire league with 8.3 free throw attempts per game. That's outrageous. To put that in perspective, that's more than double what Caitlin Clark averages.
At this point, bro, this is unprecedented. I feel as if Caitlin Clark needs this damn whistle. Everybody should be pitching a bitch about A'ja Wilson whistle because the WNBA was so far in the sunken damn place, no one paid attention to this sport. No one ever watched the first two damn.
And Clark gets clobbered out there like she owes people rent money every single night. Wilson has already hit over 290 free throws this season, and nobody else is even close. This isn't a race anymore, as it's a full-blown monopoly. But tell me this, how can one player lead the league in free throws every single year and never foul out or even get a technical? Either Ajah's playing basketball on an alien level, or the refs are treating her like she's basketball royalty. And don't get it twisted, fans aren't mad because she's good. They're mad because the league acts like she's untouchable. Now let's flip it to Caitlin Clark for a second. She's in her second year now, no longer the rookie everyone was testing, but guess what? The calls still don't go her way. She gets knocked down, shoved out of bounds, elbowed mid-drive, and the whistle stays silent like someone hit mute. Meanwhile, Ajah gets a light tap on the wrist and the refs sprint to the line faster than shoppers on Black Friday. That's the double standard driving everyone insane. Every time Ajah wins a close one, fans can't help but add an invisible asterisk next to it. Like, did she win? Or was she helped to win? Remember earlier this season when Caitlin and the Fever faced the Aces? There was one play that summed everything up. One possession that made the whole internet explode. Clark drives hard to the rim, gets hacked, and guess what? No whistle. Next play down, Aliyah Wilson barely gets brushed by a defender and boom, 2 free throws. The Fever bench didn't even react anymore. No arguing, no pleading, and just silence. Because at this point, they already know what's coming. That's exactly why fans started calling it the special whistle. Now sure, people always say, she's a star. Stars get calls. But hold on, there's a huge difference between star treatment and straight-up referee worship. LeBron gets calls because he's bulldozing to the rim every play. Steph gets calls because he's getting smacked while shooting from half court. But when Aliyah Wilson can play half a game without a single foul called on her, that's not superstar respect, that's spotlight protection. And here's the craziest part. This isn't even new. Go back to 2023 and you'll see the exact same pattern.
What you saw, and I'm appreciative that Becky trusts me in those moments. But that's playoff basketball moments. Those are the moments that you live for. So I'm glad I was able to show up. I get on my cars for not just coming to work, so I'm glad.
She led the league in free throws then, too. Different teams, different refs, same story. You could practically write the box score before tip-off. Wilson, 8 to 12 free throws. Boston, 4 fouls. Caitlin Clark, 2 free throws, 10 hits to the body. Wash, rinse, repeat. And that's why fans are done staying quiet. They've had enough. Because now that the WNBA finally has mainstream attention, this stuff can't stay hidden anymore. Before Caitlin Clark showed up, only the diehard fans noticed these patterns. But now, every moment goes viral in minutes. Ajah so much as grazes a foul and it's clipped, captioned, and trending by halftime. If she walks away with another 12 free throws while barely getting touched, fans will have the receipts ready. Posting, tagging, and blowing it up everywhere from ESPN to Elon Musk's feed. That's the new reality. The league cannot afford another favoritism scandal. Not when the Fever are pulling record-breaking ratings and half the new audience already believes the refs are picking sides. Speaking of agendas, let's get real about why this might actually be happening, because there's a theory going around that's starting to sound way too believable. The Las Vegas Aces aren't just any team. They're the WNBA's money machine. Stacked with stars, fueled by casino money, hyped up as the league's golden dynasty. They're marketable, flashy, and built to win. So of course the league wants them deep in the playoffs every year. And how do you make sure that happens? You protect the centerpiece, Ajah Wilson. It's the oldest playbook in sports. The NBA did it for its biggest draws. The NFL does it for its star quarterbacks. And now, it looks like the WNBA might be running that same strategy, protecting Wilson to keep the Vegas dynasty alive. But here's the problem. It's become too obvious.
Mainstream media, and now people is paying attention. Not only is we paying attention, we're noticing a pattern. And the pattern is Aliyah Wilson get this damn special whistle. Like this should be...
You can't build a loyal fan base when everything feels scripted. People don't want favoritism. They want competition. That's why Fever fans are louder than ever. They're not imagining this. They see it every game. Caitlin Clark takes elbows, hits the floor, and still no whistle, while Ajah's getting free throws for what looks like a sneeze. And credit to Clark. She's handling it like a pro. She doesn't rant to the media or call people out by name, but you can see it in her face every time she takes a hit and just laughs in disbelief at the refs. That laugh says more than any post-game quote ever could. And she's not the only one noticing. Even players are starting to speak through hints and shade. A few vets dropped cryptic posts online like, Some of y'all got lifetime ref passes and didn't even need to name names. Everyone already knew who they meant. So when Aja hit that walk-off shot, the internet didn't treat it like a miracle. They treated it like an investigation. Fans went full detective mode, breaking down replays, zooming in, frame by frame, dissecting every missed call like it was evidence. It turned into a virtual crime scene. And here's the wild twist. Aja herself is starting to feel the backlash. Because when your highlight moment gets flooded with "you cheated" comments instead of applause, that's not glory, that's regret territory. Aja tried to post her usual blessed and thankful caption on Instagram after that win, but the comments, brutal. Fans were lighting it up with nicknames like Referee Wilson and sarcastic lines like "nice win," "the refs scored 12-2." It got messy fast. Even neutral sports pages started asking the same question. Is the league actually protecting her? And that's when you know it's gone fully mainstream. The wildest part? The moment you call this out, people accuse you of hating on greatness. But it's not hate, it's about fairness. Caitlin Clark's squad shouldn't have to play 5-on-8 every night. The Fever are already grinding through a rebuild with young stars.
Give the ball to AJ and get out of the way. That's all the play was.
Yeah, I feel like in that moment, if a coach has to tell me what to do, I'm not doing my job. And she just drew up a play. It wasn't really even a play.
They shouldn't also be battling referees like it's part of the opponent's roster. Because let's be honest, if this keeps happening, fans will check out fast. Nobody wants to support a league where the results feel pre-decided. That's not competition. That's bad theater. Fans tune in for drama, not scripts. And here's the irony. The same league that preaches equality and respect might actually be the one creating inequality on the court. Protecting one superstar while punishing another, that's not empowerment. That's favoritism in plain sight. It's not growing the game, it's killing credibility. Now don't twist it. Aja Wilson isn't some cartoon villain of the WNBA. She's insanely talented, elite footwork, powerful defense, real leadership. All of that's legit. But when fans start questioning how those wins are happening, that greatness loses some shine. Because fair or not, perception matters more than any stat sheet. And honestly, it's not even fully her fault. The real problem lies with the refs and league executives who think shielding their face of the league means success. It doesn't. If anything, it's backfiring big time. The more they favor one player, the more fans rally behind the one getting shortchanged, Caitlin Clark. And that's exactly what's happening right now. The underdog's turning into the hero because the league forgot what fairness looks like. You can already feel the shift online. Every time a sketchy call goes the Aces' way, the internet erupts. Thousands of comments flood in defending Caitlin Clark, calling her the symbol of fairness, while Aja Wilson's become the face of favoritism. That's how fast the narrative flips in today's world. Aja went from being the league's golden girl to trending for all the wrong reasons, accused of getting referee help. And you can tell it's starting to weigh on her. In post-game interviews, she's trying to laugh it off, force a smile, but the tension's written all over her face. You can hear it when she says stuff like, "I just play my game," or "I don't control the refs." Sure, that's true, but fans don't care about disclaimers anymore. Because when the same pattern always benefits you, people stop believing it's coincidence. And that's exactly where things start to explode. The fan reactions, the memes, the silence from the league, and how Caitlin Clark quietly flipped the whole story. It all pushed this saga into overdrive. After that Phoenix game, instead of cooling down, the backlash detonated. Sports pages, podcasts, YouTube breakdowns, everyone turned into detectives overnight. Fans started lining up every Aja Wilson no-call next to Caitlin Clark's entire season. And the difference? Embarrassing. That night, Wilson took 12 free throws. Clark, she's lucky to get 4 in an entire game, even after hitting the floor like a crash dummy half a dozen times. You don't need to be a conspiracy theorist to see the bias. It's sitting there in black and white, in the box score. Even rival players began dropping hints. One anonymous player even told a reporter, "Some people in this league get protected like they're made of gold." Fans didn't need names. They already knew who she meant. The whispers became open secrets. Meanwhile, social media went nuclear. Ref Wilson, the Whistle Queen, and Vegas Scripted all started trending. Meme pages had a field day. Edits, fake movie posters, courtroom skits. Fans were turning every missed call into comedy gold. But beneath the jokes was real frustration. Because people aren't just mad about one player anymore. They're mad at what the league's becoming. a stage where certain stars shine no matter how the game's played. And that's the scariest part. Once fans start believing outcomes are influenced instead of earned, the trust is gone. The league can't afford that. Not now. Not when everyone's finally watching. The next few days after that Phoenix mess, total chaos. Every sports outlet, podcast, and comment section turned into a full-blown trial against the WNBA. Clips of A'ja Wilson's fouls, or lack of them, were playing on repeat like evidence in a courtroom. Fans started posting side-by-sides comparing her free throws to Caitlin Clark's beatdowns, and the numbers didn't lie. It looked bad. Clark was getting rocked every night, thrown to the ground, shoved mid-shot, and the refs just stared. Meanwhile, A'ja gets the slightest bump, and boom, she's back on the free throw line. The timeline flooded with posts like 12 for A'ja, 4 for Caitlin. Same game, same league, 2 different realities. That's when the phrase special whistle syndrome started trending. Even neutral fans who had no dog in the fight began calling it what it looked like: favoritism. Some were joking, some were furious, and some were genuinely disappointed. Because this isn't just about one player getting more calls, it's about trust. When people start believing games are influenced by bias instead of performance, that's when the whole league's credibility starts to crumble. The memes only made it worse. Fans were posting fake wanted posters calling A'ja Ref Wilson Queen of the Whistle, and viral edits showed referees wearing Aces jerseys. It was funny at first, but it started hitting deeper because people weren't joking anymore. They were genuinely questioning if the league had gone too far. Caitlin Clark didn't say a word publicly, but her silence said everything. Every post-game shot of her shaking her head, smirking after a no call, went viral instantly. She didn't need to rant, the internet did it for her. Suddenly, she wasn't just the rookie-turned-star, she was the people's player, the face of fairness in a league that looked more and more scripted. And that's when the league's silence became deafening. No statements, no explanations, no acknowledgement of the growing outrage. Just silence. Fans started tagging ESPN, Bleacher Report, even the commissioner herself demanding answers. But the longer the league stayed quiet, the louder the fans got. They were done being ignored. This wasn't just about basketball anymore, it became a symbol of how quickly public trust can flip. One minute, A'ja Wilson was the hero of the WNBA, the next she was the face of controversy. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, who'd been taking hit after hit, suddenly stood taller than ever without saying a single word. That's the twist nobody saw coming. The league tried protecting its biggest star, but in the process, it accidentally created a new one. And this time, it wasn't because of highlight reels or marketing hype. It was because fans decided who they believe in. Within a week, it turned into something way bigger than anyone expected. What started as a debate about foul calls exploded into a full-blown league crisis. Hashtags like hashtag fix the whistle and hashtag protect fair play started trending non-stop. Sports journalists were running features on the growing ref favoritism issue, and every talk show, from ESPN panels to TikTok creators, had the same headline: Is the WNBA rigging for Vegas? The timing couldn't have been worse. The league was supposed to be celebrating record ratings, record merch sales, and the biggest mainstream buzz in WNBA history. But instead of headlines about growth, all the attention shifted to controversy. Even former players started chiming in, saying things like, "This isn't what we fought for," and "If you're going to market equality, you have to referee equality too." Those words hit hard. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just kept hooping. No drama, no interviews, just buckets. She'd take hits, get no calls, and still drop 25 like it was nothing. That calmness made her even more powerful. She became the silent counterweight to the chaos. Every time A'ja got praised online, the comments were flooded with, "Clark would never get that whistle," or "Caitlin plays through war and still doesn't cry about it." And here's where things got even crazier. Sponsors started watching closely. When fans lose faith in fairness, brands start backing away. Nobody wants to attach their logo to controversy. Marketing insiders began whispering that if the league didn't step in fast, they'd risk losing millions in partnerships and ad deals. Behind the scenes, players were talking too. Some privately admitted that refs had different standards for certain stars. Others said they were scared to speak up because they didn't want fines or backlash. That fear alone told fans everything. The system wasn't just flawed, it was protected. By now, A'ja couldn't avoid the storm even if she tried. Every post she made, every quote, got dissected like evidence. She said God's plan, and fans replied, or the ref's plan. It was brutal. Her greatness was getting buried under suspicion, and you could see it wearing on her during pressers. Smiles tighter, answers shorter. The pressure was real. But the wildest part? The more they tried to defend her, the worse it got. League PR statements were vague. The officiating reports looked sanitized, and nobody was taking accountability. That silence spoke volumes, and fans didn't forget. This was supposed to be the WNBA's golden era, but instead it started to feel like the league was losing control of its own story. Because when fairness fades, fans stop cheering. And now, with every missed call and every viral clip, that trust was slipping faster than anyone could whistle it back. People started putting together brutal side-by-side clips. Caitlin Clark getting slammed to the floor with zero whistle, then cut straight to Aja Wilson getting lightly tapped and instantly walking to the free throw line. It looked bad, real bad. And when reporters asked Aja about it afterward, she said, "I can't control what people say. I just play the game." Yeah, that didn't calm anyone down. Because sometimes saying nothing speaks louder than saying the wrong thing. Soon even Adam Silver's name started floating around again. Fans were tagging the NBA commissioner, begging for someone, anyone, to step in and review what's going on with WNBA officiating. Especially since Kathy Engelbert stayed silent yet again, for what feels like the 20th time this month. The longer she ignores it, the worse it gets. Because here's the truth. If the league really wants to grow, it can't keep pretending fans are blind. They're watching, they're analyzing, and they're not letting this go. But then something wild happened. Fever fans flipped the whole thing into a rally cry. Instead of crying foul, they started owning the narrative. Caitlin Clark might not complain publicly, but her fan base does it for her. Loud and proud. Every no call, every hit she takes now becomes proof that she's doing it the hard way. No shortcuts, no favoritism, just pure basketball grit. That underdog energy turned into momentum, and fans across the country started saying the same thing. She's earning everything. Meanwhile, Aja Wilson might have walked away with that game-winning shot, but she lost something way more important: credibility. Because when fans start believing your wins come with a whistle attached, that trophy doesn't shine the same anymore. It looks hollow. And that's the real story. The moment the crowd starts doubting what they see, the league loses the one thing it can't replace: trust. Fans don't want perfection. They just want fairness. So what do you think? Is Aja Wilson getting special help from the refs? Or are fans just overreacting to another Aces win? Either way, the numbers don't lie. That whistle's been sounding real one-sided lately. Drop your thoughts down below, smash that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Because trust me, this WNBA drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. See you on the next one.